And it says we're live.
Yeah, lies.
Well, the screen changed color, so maybe we're live.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah. Hello, folks. Welcome to another edition, whatever the hell you want to call this, of Live from the Blanket Fort.
The post-Independence Day celebration and all that.
And we are supposed to mention our sponsor.
Oh, yes. I even had a 3x5 card.
Yeah.
King Harv's Coffee, the sponsor.
Thank you.
Drink coffee.
Yes.
Lots of coffee. And buy it from King Harv's.
Yeah.
So
Coffee
they sponsor us.
Other shoulder.
I don't see anything.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Coffee ice cream. Yeah, that works
coffee ice
too.
cream sounds good.
Anyway, to start with, some writing updates. Thanks to Regan, we have the first 12 stories for Haunted Library back. And they are currently at the library. And we're working through those to get them in order. And I think we've got another 10 stories yet to get through the process.
What? Dude, I'm so backed up on stories. I don't know what day it is sometimes.
I'll write it.
That's easy for you to say. It's a lot of stress.
Yeah, right. Writer's Dojo. The last couple of shows have included another friend of ours, Dave Butler. And they've been talking about historical fiction, some other things. A really interesting twist when you add Dave to the group.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. So highly recommend Writer's Dojo, which is Larry, Steve Diamond, and the last couple of shows have been DJ Butler. Yeah, Dave is good people.
They're all very tall.
They're large mammals.
They're very tall.
Yes.
They're kind of large mammals.
But I do want to go into something interesting that popped up this morning on Gun Free Zone. And the lead on it is, I thought authors wanted people to read their books. And then shows up this thread from Isabella Wang.
There's a name.
Yeah. Readers, especially white readers, are not entitled to footnotes, explanations, or direct translations of non-English words that a BIPOC author chooses to use in their books with intentions of not translating.
They're also entitled not to purchase the book with that attitude.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm also entitled to not buy anything from Isabella Wang and gently encourage any fans of mine that's probably an insufferable that you really don't want to buy. Don't look at me like that.
Yeah. And our second post goes, when I use Mandarin in my book, I rarely translate it. I'm a first-generation immigrant with limited access to my language. That said, Mandarin words or pinyin that arise in my book reflect a limited language I still retain. That flows through me as naturally as English.
Well, as a first-gen immigrant, why don't you just go be a latest-gen native in whatever country you're from?
And she has a total of 6 reviews.
A lot of 1-stars.
A lot of 1-stars. Aside from the, this is a good one, poetry, sure. Aside from the author angrily tweeting her hallucinations of white people making demands on her, this is typical modern poetry. No rhyme or rhythm. Just some flowery prose with random and annoying line breaks to make it look like poetry.
How about why not just make up an entirely new language with no lexicon and just put that out there? You're cordially invited to buy my nonsensical scribblings.
Why don't I just vomit some word salad forth and not make any explanations whatsoever?
We can't all be E.E. Cummings,
No, that's the point.
You're cordially invited to eat a bowl of dicks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we happen to have
Yeah, we have a bag full.
right here.
Well, they're fancy when you put them in the bowl.
Yeah.
So I mean, if she wants to have that attitude, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I can also have the attitude of, well, you are just an unlikable twat, and I won't buy anything or recommend your shit to anybody. And you'll get butt hurt if I buy it and ask what the hell that word means.
Yeah.
And you'll get butt hurt if I tell people not to buy it. So of the two butt hurts, I choose the one that I have an active participation in. So suck it.
She said she doesn't want your business.
Yeah.
Good.
Leave her.
Yep. Yeah, Jeff, that's an excellent point. Most bilingual folks forget their language of origin after they've been here a while, unless they say it or speak it every day at home.
Well, there tends to be a lot of code switching.
Yeah.
And code switching is, and I understand what she's trying to get across is
Yeah.
that she code switches. That's fine. But if you want people to buy your book or your poetry or what the hell ever, don't come across as an unlikable bitch.
Does not sell well.
Somebody said something. Where will I post the purchase links for the cake poster and your paid to you books? I actually have a new blog coming out that we are tightening the last bolt and turning the last screw on, and it's got links to books, and we'll have a shop site. So
Yeah, Josh, Tolkien didn't explain, but in the context, you could pretty much pick up what he was doing.
excuse me, have you read the appendices?
Yeah.
He explains everything. He was a language professor. Trust me. If you didn't understand a word, go to the appendices. Somewhere in those 10,000 pages is an explanation.
Yeah, that's yeah. Well, I know when I published mine, because I used acronyms, I did have to footnote a lot of them.
Because your readers appreciate that.
Well, not only that, but military and acronyms are pretty much synonymous. Yeah,
I've got a world I'm building that's loosely based on urban fantasy Morocco. Lots of ifrits and other stuff that's not your usual Western European fairy tales. And I'm going to have to go through and, there's a lot of stuff people don't understand what the hell is.
Yeah.
And because I'm courteous, I want people to actually enjoy the book and become immersed in it and not get kicked out of the book because they don't understand what something is. I'm going to provide explanations.
Yeah. Yep. That's what you got to do. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Josh. Lord of the Rings appendices are their own books. Pretty much literally.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy the compendium, or at least you used to could be. I don't know if you still can. It's probably still.
Oh, trust me, it's out there somewhere.
Yeah. And Dawn says, the day after holidays is paid. Yes.
Oh, no kidding.
It always
So
is.
glad I'm retired.
Yeah. Cedar, that's upside to not having holidays anymore. I wonder about you, girl.
Hello there. One of S.M. Sterling, one of my favorite books, even though he can be a bit of a dick. One of my favorite books is, at least on Facebook, he can. One of my favorite books is Peshawar Lancers.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of 19th century Victorian slang and a lot of Indian, I never worked in India, a lot of Indian words and phrases that honestly were really hard. And it took me a couple readings where I liked the general gist of the book. It took me a couple readings to figure out what the hell those words were.
Yeah.
Before they sank in and became a really good book. Courtney, we have a Courtney.
Hey, finally.
And I don't want to do that. I don't want people, because people these days don't want to read a book 3 times to understand it.
Yeah.
Unless
That's
it's
true.
Dorothy done it, and I will do that for her.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah.
Someone who's earned it.
Yeah, Koala, your son believes he cannot cut off a limb on a bread knife. No, bread knives are usually sharp enough
can do damage with one of
You
those.
can do
Mhm.
serious damage. And I'm gonna guarantee you saw long enough and a limb will fall off.
I can, well, no, we'll just stop right there.
Yeah.
Well, there's
I was gonna
actual
say I could confirm that, but
there's
Yeah.
actual video of an ISIS execution with a bread knife, and
Yeah.
they do actually remove a body part.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, Richard, change the quarters, 12:01 a.m. on the day after a long weekend. Oh God. No.
Hey,
I
there's Tom.
Stood that duty.
Hey, Tom. Everybody waved
Yeah.
except him. He's grouchy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the key point, Tom. And she obviously does not give a rat's ass about trying to do that. And of course, she will bitch inevitably about how,
On her Patreon about how poor she is.
yeah,
Oh my God, I'm a poor, misunderstood artist, and white supremacy is keeping me down, and all this other
Yeah.
horse shit.
Bullshit.
That was interesting.
I put Spanish in my books, but I also had Miguel Gonzalez, Miggy, go through and fix them after he chewed my ass on the first book and said, "Your Spanish sucks. Send it to me."
So I included Spanish in my books, and it was by two people who don't speak Spanish as a first language and knew they were getting it wrong. So if I screwed something up,
Yeah.
I had in-story reasons for it.
Well,
Made it so much easier.
since you came in a little late,
Yes.
the topic of conversation is this
Isabella Wang.
Ms. Wang, 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 is apparently a first generation Chinese immigrant to Canada.
Yeah.
And she writes poetry, and she refuses to translate. White people don't need to know what foreign words or pinyin
The
Pictograms.
Mandarin
Mhm.
means.
that BIPOC people put in there. Like, all right,
So she's only writing for people who speak her language, which is fine, but she's not going to find a lot of them in Canada.
well, you'd be surprised.
Not a lot of them, but
Hong-
you know.
Hong
Why
Coover.
limit your audience to 500,000 when
Yeah.
you could have 10 million?
Well, she's
Yeah.
not. She's got all of mainland Taiwan.
Mhm.
Mainland Taiwan. I'm going to get kicked off here soon.
Her specific statement was readers, especially white readers,
Especially white readers.
especially are not entitled to footnotes, explanations, direct translations of non-English words that a BIPOC author chooses to use in their books with intentions of not translating.
Okay.
When I use
And she
Mandarin
wonders
in
why
my
she
book,
gets 1-star reviews.
Yeah.
I didn't understand language. Well, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So if you're being confusing on purpose, which is what you were saying when I came in, you're gonna sell less.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
that's just life. I mean,
Yeah.
suck it up, Buttercup.
why isn't your stuff selling? Because you're a rampaging bitch.
I mean, that helps too.
Well, Cedar, that's a good point. Back in the day, people did speak multiple languages,
Mhm.
and they were highly educated. Readers, by and large, were highly educated, and they were bilingual.
Okay.
It's not unusual in Europe.
I'm fixing to say, you've heard the joke. What do you call somebody who speaks two languages?
Go ahead.
Bilingual.
Yeah.
What do you call somebody who speaks three languages? Trilingual.
Yeah.
What do you call somebody who speaks one language? American. That's an old expatriate joke.
Yeah.
Well, and in living in the age of Google Translate, it's not a perfect translation, but if you don't know what a
But
word
you-
means,
Yeah.
put it in.
Yeah.
It's
Or
not-
some of the translations are absolutely friggin' hilarious.
Oh,
Well,
Anyway, what I was going
translating
to
it and
say
then
is,
translating it back.
it's not unusual for Europeans to speak 5 or 6 languages.
Well, when your entire neighborhood is the size of Texas.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Or when you live in Switzerland and you speak languages of every one of the surrounding countries
Mhm.
fluently. And there's, having been to Switzerland, there's nothing worse than trying to catch up with a conversation that is bouncing from
Code
language
switching.
to language to language.
code switching.
And the only thing that I spoke was rudimentary French, Cajun French. And it was like, yeah,
Yeah.
with 3 of 5 being variant of German, the other 2 variants of French, yeah. A little bit easier, but not that easy.
Oh,
Now,
no.
if you really want language problems, go to India. or Pakistan with Hindi.
Well,
We all speak English.
and colloquialisms are just a pain in the butt.
Well, there are over 30 dialects of Hindi
Hmm.
that don't cross.
Something like more languages in India than in the rest of the world
Yeah.
combined. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a surprise.
It's well because they were anyway.
Yeah, that's a whole nother.
That's a whole other thing.
Latin word roots help. Yes. Yeah, Jerry. Thai speak a number of languages. Yeah, there you go, Tom. That's what we need. Please, thank you. Water, bathroom, and beer. I never worried about the hospital or police.
And American Embassy, please.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yo quiero un abogado.
Benjo e banjo.
That's the dos más cervezas, por favor.
Yeah.
Donde es el baño? And yo quiero un abogado.
Yeah. Well, what Joel said, English. India uses English as an official language because they have so many different languages that they can't elevate one over the other.
But it's British English.
Yeah, which so they'll have an accent and it's fabulous. I just love it.
Well, actually, the
Donde es la reina?
Tom.
Start drinking now, Frank. It ain't getting any better.
Yeah.
Our poor NSA guy.
Yes. That was your Czech liver light coming on, Frank.
Yeah. Yeah, Soviet Union was 17 languages at one point. Moody is how a Frenchman wakes up.
Most used phrase I've ever spoken in Spanish. He's not wrong.
Yeah. Yep.
The most
Yeah, Cajun. Yeah, me, I'm going to tell you, we speak good English down the south, in South Louisiana,
I actually understand that. However, trying to remember, I've actually forgotten some of the French I used to know because I used to know where do I buy the guns, which was my most used French. Where do I get the guns? Which was my most ever used French phrase. I can't remember it.
The worst time I had with language was when I flew into Newark, which I will never do again, ever in my entire life, if I can possibly avoid it. I had to go get on a bus and get to Grand Central so I could meet up with my friends. And I went out and the bus didn't have a sign on it. It was parked in the Grand Central spot. So I asked the guy, I said, "Is this the bus to Grand Central?" And he said something, and it sounded vaguely like English.
Blah, 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 blah,
And I
blah.
said, "Okay, I'm from Oregon. Could you just nod yes or no? Because I have no idea what you just said." And he said, "Yeah, it's a bus." It was such a heavy New Jersey accent that I could not determine what he'd said.
And we can tell who is very proficient in Spanish on here. Josh.
We can tell who's been wandering south of the border doing things.
Yeah. Yeah, the wah, 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 wah.
Wah, 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 wah,
It's all becomes a Peanuts cartoon.
Yeah.
wah, wah.
Of course, the one English that I cannot understand is Cockney.
Nobody understands
Nobody
Cockney.
understands
It's
Cockney.
a joke.
And then you go to the Welsh,
Oh, the worst.
Wales.
It's the Scottish guy stuck in the elevator that's
Oh.
voice activated.
I understand him. He's easy to understand.
He says to me that the elevator's like, what?
The one that'll just really twist your brain in knots are the travelers in England. The
Yeah.
travelers can't. Bloody hell! It's worse than Cockneys.
Yeah.
Good lord.
Yes, Joel's right, because there's 142 languages in Queens.
Glaswegian is another one. Yeah.
Okay, Ouija's. That's me. But I still understand them. Rita understands them.
Who?
Glaswegians, Ouija's.
Oh, yeah.
The drunk Yorkshireman. Yeah.
No, actually, and funny enough, the Scottish dialect that's hardest for me to understand is bloody hell,
Yeah.
Northeast.
Are you thinking of Geordie?
No, the northeastern where they speak Doric. Uh,
Argyle area or something?
No,
Aberdeen.
nope. It's the way north and east. It's the part where the glaciers scoured it flat. And the only people that show up were the Norwegians. Cat.
We can probably blame the Vikings for that.
Yeah.
I blame the Vikings for a lot of things. Half my genetic
Norsemen, they went to Viking. It's a
Yeah.
verb.
half my
It's
genetic
verb.
history can be blamed on the Vikings.
Norsemen. What they do is Viking.
Yeah, Tom makes a good point. There's a sliding scale of inebriation for understanding the Welsh, English, and Scottish accents. Yeah. The drunker you are, the more it makes sense.
No, you just.
Of course, as Scott was down visiting yesterday, dropping some stuff off, Scott Richardson was talking about his trip. Going into a bar to try to find a hotel.
Oh, right. That was hilarious.
Mhm.
And he did this in Scotland. And
People who show up with a bottle of scotch can stay at the blanket fort.
Mhm.
Just saying.
and he said he asked the bartender, where a hotel was. And he's, and he said about
This is gonna
10
drive
minutes
me
later,
nuts.
a taxi pulls up outside. So he goes out, gets in the taxi. Taxi drives him somewhere.
Mm.
Taxi driver gets out, takes him into the hotel, talks to the lady behind the counter. And he said, and I never did understand a word other than, the hand signals and give me your passport and pay me money.
If it works,
it
it
worked.
works, right?
Yeah.
Caithness. Caithness is what I'm talking about.
Huh?
Caithness. Caithness is the northeast side,
No. Okay.
and the glacier scraped it flat right down to bedrock. So about the only people that showed up were crazy Norwegians and Highlanders.
Well, a lot of the
affective disorder.
a lot of the languages up there anyway have Norwegian and Swedish in them.
Oh yeah,
As part of the base language, which people tend to forget. The Vikings were there way back when.
Oh yeah. Was it?
Vikings were okay. The Caledonians were the original. Well, no. Picts. We'll just call them Picts.
Yeah.
The Picts were the original inhabitants of Scotland.
Mhm.
And then the Scots came across from Ireland and kicked the Picts right square in the giggly bits and didn't take their boots out. Called Scotland. I forget what the hell they decided to name Scotland. It doesn't matter. They took over, right, and ground the Picts down. And then the Norwegians showed up. And no, then the Romans showed up. Then it's all
Hadrian's Wall.
yeah.
Add.
Picts, then Romans, then Scots, then Vikings, then English.
Yeah.
And the only one that we beat were the Romans.
Yeah.
Because we didn't bend the knee. We bent the knee to everybody else and took it right up the poop chute.
Yeah. Jerry,
Dalriada, yes, Dalriada.
quite a few tourists that I pointed in the right direction or how to get somewhere in DC, mainly including take the metro, do not try to friggin' park over there. And funny one. A friend of mine I served with multiple times. His daughter, he did a tour in Japan, a couple of tours in Japan.
Was she blonde?
Yes.
She's fine.
Blonde, 5'6", very good looking young lady. Went to Japanese schools. Graduated from the University of Tokyo. Speaks and writes fluent Japanese.
You can get a job anywhere.
Works for the Japanese embassy in Washington, D.C.
There you go.
Fancy that.
And
Well,
apparently
that's-
blows people's minds when these Japanese tourists come in
Hmm.
and ask her something and she responds in Japanese.
Trust me. She may work for the Japanese embassy, but it's only one of the paychecks she's taking home.
Yeah.
I know how this works. I know how this works really well.
But Japanese are interesting because If you try to speak to them in Japanese, they will answer you in English.
Hmm.
If you speak to them in English, they will answer you in Japanese.
Those poor bastards. When we opened those 2 cans of sunshine, we screwed with their psyche something fierce.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Those poor bastards.
First Frontier, yes, that is an interesting book, Cedar. Yeah. Yeah, if you want something interesting, go down to Peru.
Why?
The Japanese influence down there.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
The Japanese culture somehow, depending on which set of expansions you want to talk about, they either walked there, they sailed there,
Well, that's
or they came there at some point.
they had to offset the German influence in Argentina and Paraguay.
Well, they were in Peru prior to World War One.
That was a joke, Jim.
I know, but it's really interesting
Mhm.
because you do not see that culture anywhere else in South America, only in Peru. So was that where the boat ended up?
Probably
You know, it's like the Cajuns coming from Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia.
Mhm.
The good ones, good navigators ended up in Louisiana. The bad navigators ended up in Texas.
We had
Oh,
quite a
I-
few- yeah, we had Basque that came over and did a lot of the sheep
Yeah.
farming out in Eastern Oregon.
There's a
There are
joke there,
Basque
folks.
ovens all over the place out there still.
Yeah.
So,
Now, you want to talk about some people that will flat get up in your ass is the Basque.
and they have their own language that has
Oh, yeah.
no pollution from anywhere else.
Well,
Right.
and no, there's no cross pollination in Basque. It's
No.
just it's one of those. Where the hell did that come from? Languages.
Yeah. And
There's another one like that. I forget.
even today, the Spanish military and Spanish police do not like to go into Basque areas
Oh, no.
because they may or may not come back out.
Yeah. There's another. Is it Romanian, Hungarian? Is little sister on here? No.
Nope.
Sounds here today.
That's either Romanian or Hungarian that doesn't match. It's like, where the hell did that language come from? I can't
Yeah.
remember which one it is.
Yeah, Sarah.
When I was studying opera, someone told me that you can either read Czech or speak it, but you can't do both.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Because people were learning. Some operas are in Czech that are amazing and everything, but apparently it's too baffling to learn to read it and try and reconcile with what you think it should sound like.
Right.
Really?
Actually, yeah, that makes sense. I have the sounds the consonants make are what you would think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You get lots
it's
of
like
j
all the
and
extra
j.
letters, sort of like Welsh. It's like, what the
Yeah.
hell, people? We're
Well,
bored.
okay.
So-
I will die mad at the French word for bird because, damn.
The French do it just because they're assholes.
Yeah, well, because there's Gallic asshole, but
Yeah.
the French word for bird just pisses me off because
Oiseau,
yes.
Yes.
Now spell it.
Oiseau.
X.
If it's plural, it's Oiseaux.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wazoo and wazoo.
Picky.
I'll die mad about that. It's like
Yeah.
I heard the word and used the word a couple of times for years, if not decades, and then I saw it written down. It's like, the hell is that?
Yeah, Bill, that's also true. The Japanese did kind of expand, and they have moved up into Ecuador. The reason I said Peru is working with them. I was amazed at the number of Japanese ethnicity that you saw that were not quite pure Japanese, but damn close to it in government and in the military down there.
Well, it's like in Mexico City, if you go into the upper class and the political class,
Yeah.
how many Patrick O'Flannery Suarez's there are?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That guy's a redhead.
Yeah.
That is Senor Suarez. He's friggin' redhead.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Patrick O'Flannery Suarez.
Yeah.
Really?
Part of the Irish regiment.
And it was probably somewhere back in the
Wild
name
geese.
of Mally was there
Yeah.
or
Wild geese.
Mac something. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Sarah. Any Slavic language adores consonant blends with a minimum of vowels. Yeah. Which is just the opposite of Hawaiian. Because all you've got is vowels and 14 letters.
Yeah, the Hawaiians have like 6 vowels, and they're very, very proud of them.
No, they've got all 8 vowels.
But they're real proud of them.
Oh, yeah.
They have like 14 letters in their actual alphabet.
Yeah.
And F isn't one of them. So I have a friend who went to elementary school in Hawaii. He said, you cannot fail me because F is not an official letter in the Hawaiian language. I got away with it.
Wow.
Yeah. The wild geese.
Yeah, wild geese, the French mercenaries.
Well, French and Irish.
Irish. I meant
Yeah.
Irish, not French.
Well, the French had their own version of that. I can't remember the name of it now that I said that.
For Legion.
Well, the Legion comes into play, yes. That's interesting, Michael.
Yeah, apparently the apostrophe is an official letter in Hawaiian.
Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Yep.
Puka, puka, puka. The hell did you say?
No, well, W is V, so it's not Hawaii, it's Hawaii.
Mhm.
Eva Beach, which is EWA. Leaky Leaky is like when you look at it.
Have you seen Finding Nemo?
Uh-huh.
Mount Wanahakalugi?
Yeah.
I was so disappointed for that. Was it actually like
Michael makes
Oh,
an
it
interesting
will be.
point, though. Some related languages took odd turns. Has a friend from El Salvador tried to learn Portuguese, gave up and is now learning Italian.
if you speak Spanish, Portuguese is hard.
Yeah,
Like because it looks the same.
yeah, but it is a totally different
Totally
language.
off. Yeah, I tried.
Yeah,
Shark bait.
Cameron.
Ooh, ha, ha.
yeah, yeah. The national fish of Hawaii, and he is actually correct.
The national fish of Hawaii is a spam can, isn't it?
No,
How
he actually put it in the chat.
Ooh, ha, ha.
Shark bait.
And Ian
Ooh,
gave
ha,
up on that.
Yep.
Sarah Hoyt's pronunciation is
Incoming carp.
Yeah. interesting at times.
The moose and squirrel. Yeah, get Sarah to say moose. Lick her up. Get her liquored up and get her to say moose and squirrel.
Yeah.
It's actually it's a reward for her her fundraiser this
Yeah.
summer. Is a recording of her
Seriously?
saying
Yeah.
moose and squirrel.
Why
It's up
not
there, too.
capitalize on it?
Right.
Hell yes.
What's really fun is listening to Koreans speak English when they learn from Australians.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Because they speak English with an Australian accent.
And it's the funniest thing to watch. You're not expecting it. And then you get the ones that learn from British people and from Australian people. They're talking together and they're speaking the same language, and you know they are.
Yeah.
But they just say things just a little bit off
Yeah.
and off
Yeah.
language. It's,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, what's
Yeah,
worse
I like
is
mine.
when you spend a month and a half in Japan.
Mhm.
So you're dealing with Japanese and they are taught English in elementary school,
Mhm.
but they never have to take it again. And then you go to Australia and walk into a restaurant and the hostess is Japanese.
Mhm.
So you say, come by, why? And she comes back with the most perfect Australian,
The hell is that?
never mind,
Okay.
Australian accent. Good evening, sir. Yeah.
Hello to you too.
I have to stop for a minute and go, right.
Yeah.
But my cousin has a master's in Japanese and international business. He is fluent
Yeah.
in Japanese. And he's like the most frustrating thing because he looks like me, just like slightly taller.
Yeah.
Was getting over there and getting them to actually speak to him in Japanese because they refused. They were practicing their English on him. It's like, I learned how to do this
Yeah.
on purpose.
Oh, yeah. I got lost at Tokyo train station one day. And this little 9-year-old girl came up
Mhm.
practicing her English. Sir, are you lost? Yes, I'm standing here with a ticket looking like an idiot. I'm lost. She says, may I? And she, oh, you're supposed to be. And the little girl led me to where I was supposed to be
Well, yes.
Very helpful.
because back in the 70s, they didn't have that many English signs in the Tokyo train station.
And she could practice.
And she practiced, yeah.
1870s.
1970s.
You sitting right next to you.
Yes, I know.
You're sitting right next to you.
Somebody's whispering in my ear.
Yeah, Raptor. The old Robin Williams bit. Go drinking with a Scotsman because you can't get you.
Because it kind of fucking understand before
Yeah, that.
17 what?
Uh,
Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
yeah, translators sometimes come in handy.
Well, the thing about being overseas, we dealt. What the hell they call it when my squirrels are not anywhere near the same song today, folks. So I'm a little scatterbrained, non-compost mentos, so to speak. What the hell was it when the foreign military units would come and partner up with U.S. military units?
Oh, carrot.
That sound right. Close enough.
Oh, that's what we call. That's what it in the Navy. It was carrot operations. Yeah.
Being a redhead and having the Japanese show up. Wow.
Because they wanted to touch you, touch your hair.
Well, not just that, but I'm pretty sure with a bit of liquor, I would have had a foreign legion of my very own.
Yeah. Oh, father from the deep south, wife from Ireland, missionaries in inland China. Oh yeah, those kids. Yeah, accents said to be interesting. I wonder if they spoke Chinese with a southern accent.
You want to know what's funny as hell? Have you ever heard a French woman or Frenchman from the not Marseille but Toulouse?
Yeah.
They sound like they're right out of Georgia.
Yep.
It's like French by way of Georgia. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, okay.
Not European, Georgia.
No. It's like there are peaches coming right out of your wow.
One from the they're doing a language study on Shakespeare, so that the most correct way to pronounce Shakespeare is basically how it's spoken in the American South right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because we say closest to the it's like, well, puts a different spin on it.
It does,
Well,
doesn't it?
there are places in Appalachia that still speaks Shakespearean English. Yeah, Tom, I can imagine somebody with an accent like me trying to speak Russian. Yeah, Dawn, that's a good call, and that's what people tend to forget is, when you're in law enforcement, fire rescue, and 911, you're subject to every language in the world coming into your office.
Well, I was just thinking, somebody once told me that instructors at DLI, the Defense Language Institute, I don't even know if that's still a thing, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Tom, is DLI still a thing? Anyway, somebody just at a bar chat told me that it was a either 1 or 2 year rotation through DLI as an instructor.
Yeah.
And somebody else said, yeah, 'cause that's as long as their liver would hold out.
Yeah.
Because trying to teach Americans languages,
Oh, yeah.
all
Yeah.
the wonderful smorgasbord is America, trying to teach them foreign languages will cause you to develop a drinking habit.
And your point is,
Yeah.
depending on where they came from, they already had a drinking habit.
Well, there's that, yes.
And then there's Frank.
Poor Frank.
We
Poor
need to send him
Frank.
we need to send him a Christmas basket.
Oh, cheap rock gut whiskey. Here you go, Frank.
We have
Hot dog.
moonshine.
Not for us.
Have some
Yeah.
moonshine.
Okay. Bill corrected me. Authentic Appalachian accents are Edwardian English, not Shakespearean.
Mm,
But yes, that,
yeah.
you drive through Appalachia and it's, yeah. And
Poor
people
Frank.
up in them hills and hollers.
Mhm.
Poor Frank. He's going to name his second liver transplant after us.
Well, It's okay. We'll do a GoFundMe for him.
for his third liver transplant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Raptor, that had to suck.
Yeah.
Spanish teacher from New York who learned to speak Spanish in the region where they pronounce S as the.
The
So she was lisping.
reason that we were having a bar chat,
Like
Was-
custodian.
this poor guy had just got done with a Texas National Guard, a couple of Texas National Guard folks that went to DLI to learn Turkish. And apparently they were way southwest Texas.
Boy.
They say you didn't realize you could put y'all into Turkish.
Oh,
You can tell we're tired today.
Well, we
Yeah.
are very peopled out.
There was
Oh.
there's a party or something.
Scott has two of the most adorable dachshunds you have ever seen, Ham and Pickles. Adorable little dogs. And in the shop last night, I finally got down on the floor and played with them, and they relaxed and they were doing zoomies. And Wiener's doing zoomies is absolutely, especially here, is just adorable to watch.
It was adorable.
oh, Tom, you ain't right.
He's a friend of ours. Of course, he isn't right.
Oh.
Pretty sure that's in the fine print somewhere. Are you right? Why,
yeah.
yes, you can't be their friends.
Yeah.
There definitely will be something of ours that says y'all ain't right.
Yep.
Speaking
Coming
of which,
soon.
did anybody order that for the?
Oh, it's part of the plan.
Okay.
Oh, did you see that? U.S. Army WTF, and it got posted over to MHMI. Somebody took Woobies and made smoking jackets out of
I
it.
Yeah.
saw.
I saw that, and no, I will not make them.
Somebody down at Fort Bragg was bored. Either
That's
that or
just-
some wife was going, screw this, I could make more money doing
Okay,
these.
so I actually have done that.
Yeah.
I have taken them and made ropes, but they're ringed built, so don't ask me.
I wasn't planning on it. I'm just
No, somebody was like on your page going, we should ask Jonna. I'm like, no.
No.
So,
a Woobie smoking jacket. I mean, wow. Talk about the heavens opening up.
Of course, you got to wonder where she's getting them from, all the ex-girlfriends that stole them.
No kidding. Woobies and hoodies. What the hell is it with women and woobies and hoodies?
I don't know.
Comfortable.
So how many woobies and hoodies do you have hiding in your closets? Yeah, that's an answer. That's an
No
answer.
movies. No
Woobie
movies.
onesies? You got to be
What the
kidding
hell,
me,
really?
Tom.
Okay, that's going a little far.
Yeah. Yeah, no chihuahuas, Richard. Hate them little son bitches.
Chewy,
I
he's half Chihuahua.
I hate chihuahuas,
Mm.
as I said last night, because them little son bitches are nothing but ankle biters.
Yes.
They are, I believe, the second number of biters, dog bites every year
Yeah,
is by chihuahuas.
Chihuahuas, Dachshunds, and Jack Russell Terriers.
Yeah.
One of my neighbors used to have a mini poodle crossed with a chihuahua.
there's nothing right about that.
The first time it
A
bit
Puwawa?
me,
A Puwawa?
the first time it bit me, I was wearing my boots.
A Choodle.
It's, obnoxious.
Yeah.
It got punted.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
I've-
not on purpose, but it tried to bite me. And it's like, I
I've
know.
hunted a few chihuahuas on purpose. Oh, that works. That's a good patch. Yeah, Carlton, the cognitive dissonance when somebody
Oh, yeah.
does something like, yeah, what happened to you?
Yes, yes, want.
Soon.
Yeah.
Author shoot. Okay. Right now, there's a whole bunch of stuff, some of which I can't talk about it for a while, that's interfering with doing a whole lot of stuff. The author shoot is going to we're not even considering hammering out the nuts and bolts on the author shoot until after August. So
We are potentially looking around the November timeframe to so it'll be cool enough that we're not going to get up into Oklahoma and melt.
My devil duck took off.
Yeah.
Come
Really?
back, devil duck, come back.
Y'all too messed up for me.
Richard, that
Poor guy, we gave him.
the Navy does not use Jack Russells for their working dogs. They use the same working dogs everybody else does.
I think it's the Coast Guard that uses. Somebody uses little bitty dogs.
Coast Guard uses both Jack Russells and Beagles because they can get into places.
And trust me, having been savage about Jack Russell, they don't realize they're 15 pounds of terror.
Yeah. We're not shooting authors. We're going to have an education program and or a training session for authors on shooting.
Damn.
Justification.
I thought I was finally going to get to do something I wanted to do.
No, we cannot bring people in to shoot them.
What are
No,
we
no,
justifying?
Shoot through
Note
others
to
out of
self, do
something.
not get downrange when Jonna is on the line.
Yeah, there's stuff finally coming to a head in August that I've got to take care of. Plus, I've got a whole bunch of stories I owe people.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and anthologies that I got suckered into doing.
Oh, speaking of which,
Don't you
HP,
bat your eyelashes at me.
Heather has backed out of the
I saw that.
Yeah.
authors ordering pizza anthology. I
Well,
can't do this.
Temporarily backed out.
Temporarily, yes.
Doesn't mean somebody else couldn't run with it with her permission.
Well, most of
I
the
know.
small dogs were developed as hunting and attack dogs.
Nothing like a 15-pound Jack Russell coming in at eye level.
And they were bred to attack certain animals. Dachshunds, for example, were bred to go down burrows.
Badgers.
That, and that just boggles the mind because badger and dachshund in a burrow.
Yeah.
I'm
And
going there.
the dachshunds tend to win, which
Yeah.
is really one of the more pugnacious of the European weasels, and a dachshund is really
Yeah, firearms myths would be a good one because there are sure as hell a lot of those out
no
there.
kidding. Yeah. Reed and I are watching the Jack Reacher miniseries, which is not bad, but the firearm stuff in there is really setting my teeth on edge.
Yeah.
So if anybody knows what's his nuts that writes the Jack Reacher thing, tell him to come to Mead Hall. We'll get his
Lee Child, he's in English.
we'll get his dumb shit take on firearms settled out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Okay. I mean, the guy spends enough time with his shirt off. I don't really care about the guns. So
She has slightly different priorities than you do.
And
The other gun.
here we go with the cognitive dissonance.
The other guns are so impressive.
But when
Do
they,
you need to go have a cigarette?
No, I had a towel and a cigarette. honey.
he mentioned that the bad guy was a putative bad guy was a professional hitman because he used subsonic 95 grain 9mm bullets, and I almost blew a blood vessel.
What?
That's okay.
95
What?
grain subsonic, and I went,
Bullshit.
yeah, I know. I know. And that wasn't the most egregious.
Well, the
It's-
most egregious part of Reacher was the fact that Tom Cruise thought he could play the role. So
Yeah. No.
Now that
in the movie, that was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
when I saw that ad with Tom Cruise as a star, I went, not even going to waste my time, even if
No.
it's free.
No.
Plus, I'm not going to give Tom Cruise a friggin' penny of my dollars.
Uh-uh.
No, it's just like, seriously, he is not even 5 feet 4 inches tall. And
Yeah.
Reacher is supposed to be 6'6". I'm like, wow, inflated opinion of yourself, honey.
6'6" and 260 and 3% body fat.
And yeah.
Yeah.
And boy, did they find the right actor. Oh my.
Yeah. Well, it's like
Wipe off your chin, Jerry. You're drooling.
it's like the Top Gun. The
Jim has an opinion.
well,
Hadn't noticed.
the director of Top Gun was supposed to be Tom Cruise's double for the flight sequences where they show the back of the pilot's head.
Oh.
Until they had him stand next to Tom Cruise. And he topped him by 9 inches and has a neck.
Uh-huh.
And the director apparently said, "Oh, we can't CGI that neck down that far."
That's true.
So they had to go find a pilot that was much smaller.
Mhm.
And also, contrary to popular fucking opinion and the internet, Tom Cruise never got to fly an F-14
Nope.
in 1986.
Nope.
So forget it. That's bullshit.
He wasn't flying anything.
Nope. I know people that were there. I know people that were involved in the movie.
Because you're Jim Curtis.
He
Of course
never
you are.
got to fly in the fucking movie.
Mind you, we're going to get a sticker that says, "Of course, Jim Curtis."
Oh.
loves me."
Oh,
No, stop it.
we one of the things we're doing to make cons fun again is we're going to have author specific stickers that
Courtney can tell you about those.
we will issue author specific stickers to the various North Texas troublemakers. And if you go around and meet them, you can collect all the stickers.
There will be some that will be limited edition because they're harder people to find.
Yeah, Rapture, you are correct. He got to ride in the back seat of an F-14. They did not let him fly, and it was not a dual control airplane.
So,
Yes.
and Jim's will say, of course I met Jim Curtis.
And Jonas will probably say, Jonas told me to shut it.
Yeah.
Or Jonna tied me up. It depends. That someone, she'll have two. You can get which one she wants to give you.
Mona Lisa bit me.
Mona Lisa bit me. Mine's gonna say, you're that Courtney.
Sarah attacked you.
Yep.
Did we settle on one for Rita yet?
Not yet. I'm trying to come up with clever, fun things. So
Josh, everybody
ideas
pokes
are
fun at
welcome.
me because I'm old.
And he knows everybody.
everybody,
I do not.
Yes.
not you.
Prove it.
It's because you haven't met them all. You're working on it.
Larry is not part of North Texas Troublemakers. This is for us specifically.
Yeah, this is us.
Yes.
Well, he might be an affiliate, but he's too busy to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Larry's a friend of the family, not
Yeah.
quite.
He's adjacent.
Yes.
He's not part of the gang.
What's my sticker going to say?
He has the antibodies. What is yours
I haven't
to stand
decided
there?
yet. No,
Ian's
What-
supposed to stand there and look pretty.
yeah.
Methyl Erman sang my song for Rita.
Or I bought Law Dog a drink.
I'm gonna have one of those little a bunch of little plastic challenge coins made, and it's gonna have a anthology with a line through it on one side. The other side will say, "Any agreements made to do an anthology while drunk are not binding." And if you hand me a drink at a con, I'm gonna give you a challenge coin.
Now you're going to be so drunk.
Yes, but I won't have to do anthologies.
We'll see.
Sport anthologies, buying a drink. What the hell?
Yes, I accept anthology.
Josh, the part of the problem is some of these people went to certain events with me where I had been around for a number of years, and
Oh, I
a
thought you
few
were talking about the
people-
donkey.
You
Never
are
mind.
such a social butterfly. Just shut it. My God, man. You're like everywhere, talking to everyone. You can't even keep up with you. You're there one minute, the next minute you're gone. So,
Because I'm trying to run away and hide.
well, it's not working.
It's not working.
I watched him at LibertyCon going down the hall and talking to somebody that I had no clue who the hell they were every 2 steps. It took this man half an hour to get down the main hall at LibertyCon. Don't sigh at me. I watched it.
We won't talk about NRA then.
No, don't sigh at me. I watched it.
So
I
you don't
sat
get
there and
anywhere.
watched.
You have to have a keeper to say, no autographs, no autographs. We have an event.
Yeah. They did. And it wasn't them chasing him down. It was him. 2 steps. Hey, what's the name? How are you doing? How's the boat doing? How are the kids? Your little dog still got the mange? And then 2 more steps. Hey, what's her name?
He remembers all these details.
Yeah, all
Fascinating.
750 people got a file in his head.
It's called being polite.
And I'm the least polite person on the planet. So many people walk up and go, John, I'm like, who the hell are you?
Who the fuck are you?
You have to remind me of what your name is and what your online handle is. 'Cause I might know what your name is in person, but if you don't tell me what you go by online,
It got to be a joke at LibertyCon. They'd walk up, Law Dog, and I'd grab their tag and go, "Hi, Frank."
Well, that was one of the biggest bitches that I made to Brandy. You need to make the friggin' print
Ew.
bigger. I can't see it.
all of us cannot see anything.
Especially the morning after a book party,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no.
because the kind of waivers.
I'm going to get us all cheap sunglasses for that morning. We need them.
We'll hand them out at the party here for tomorrow's
Yeah,
recovery.
driving large rigs is sometimes interesting, especially in the
Jim
wind.
changes the topic.
That was very deft, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm responding
He's
to the
responding to
comments.
somebody in the comments. Yes.
Uh,
He's paying attention to the details we're not. So.
that's part of my job.
Non-compost Mentos.
What's fun is when you get a double puppy or a triple puppy, especially in Nevada or Colorado or Nebraska, when the wind is blowing, and you're following one of those son of bitches, and it's taking up both lanes and half the shoulder on each side.
Yeah, it's like
I pull off and wait for them to go away for a while.
Going down I-5 north
Yeah.
of Sacramento when the wind's kicking up, the middle trailer is in this other lane.
Hell yeah.
You know, that's not my view of a good time. And then the tumbleweeds come and attack you.
Oh, tumbleweeds in Colorado. Yes.
Right?
Or West Texas.
When-
Do you get points, or do you have to like pick them out and find out how many you've earned?
Well, it's a thing about when you got a tumbleweed bigger than your cruiser and you center punch it at 75.
They don't
Yeah.
leave. They stay attached.
Well, no,
to
they
your
stay attached,
car.
but all of your vinyl stickers that say sheriff's office and all that good stuff
Go away.
get
Scratched off.
scratched off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the sheriff starts swearing because those things ain't cheap.
Or like Dave was talking about when he and Sarah rode across country on the bike, leaning into the wind all the way across
Yeah.
Nebraska.
Mhm.
Went out the next morning, looked at his bike, and went, "Yeah, why is the steel cord showing on the side of the tire?"
Because you rode on the side of the tire the whole time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they managed to limp it across and find a bike shop to change the tires. Jackknife U-Haul minivan. Yeah, because once it starts, then it just gets bigger and bigger. Of course, you also get the stupid ones, like one over here in Henrietta a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, Lord.
A regular two-door Jeep pulling a 16 or 18-foot pontoon boat.
What the hell?
It did not end well.
No, because that's just basically a giant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And even worse was the one that was pulled off ahead of it, which was another two-door Jeep pulling a 16 or 18-foot trailer, one of those little camper trailers. And I'm sitting there going, why and how did you think this was a good idea?
Because the Jeep isn't quite.
No.
Mm.
So, on writing news, ish.
We're back around to writing.
Yeah, I've got a.
Hey, we came full circle.
Yeah, we did. For once. New blog. Jack Wilder from MHI is graciously helping me out with that. So it's looking pretty good. Should be live here in a bit. Sometime once we get all the nuts and bolts worked.
It's very pretty.
It's apparently very pretty. We've got the next Malta anthology is in September.
September. Yeah.
We're putting that together.
Just before FanCon.
Yeah, we're going to launch it what? Squirrels, glow sticks.
Yes.
Well, probably a week before, and we'll have the book party. And these ladies throw some legendary book parties. You might want to come to FinCon.
Apparently, the people have been talking about it who weren't at the party.
Yes, I've been
Which
saying,
is-
if somebody says they're at a party, make them produce their duck because we gave everybody a duck.
Oh, duck you. I did not get one.
No, everyone got an award recipient though. Everyone who came to the party got an award.
I was there. I didn't get shit.
Because you're one of the hosts. Get over it.
What the hell is the God's Out of Time? So Kermit wants to know. I'm writing a story for God's Out of Time. What the hell is that?
I don't know, but you need to give me one for the Haunted Library Anthology.
I need to
Which
give.
the
I need to give a
second one
lot.
is, you're going to end up in the second one now.
Okay. What's God's Out
And
of Time?
I will have at least one book going. Well, I'll have the second Western, 1870s Western finished, so that'll be at
Mhm.
FinCon.
Mhm.
Yep.
We'll probably have the second Haunted Library around the same time.
Mhm.
And that will be a pure benefit, folks. We get nothing out of that one. Did you answer
Courtney,
Reagan back on yours?
I did. I
What do you have coming up?
So by the time FenCon rolls around, I'll have the last book in the current Alien Bride series. So
Okay.
I guess season finale of
The season
Season
finale.
finale.
There's
Season
good-
finale in a book. Okay, that's
it's so the last book basically set up a series of aliens. So there's going to be another series after this. So the blue guys are going to be done, and then I'm moving on to the green guys.
So when do we get to red and purple guys?
Probably next year. Like you joke.
No.
So,
I'm just laughing because your mind goes in some weird directions.
these ones are lizard men. So,
Weird directions that make her
Very weird
significant
directions.
cat.
And
Yes.
she's starting to blush.
And there went the glow sticks.
that'll be fun.
That was a
And-
mass glow stick loss right there.
I should have I'm starting another series this summer as well, so I might have that one ready by FenCon, but we'll see.
Rita will have at least one ready by FinCon. Two, at
Two.
least one, probably two.
Yeah, Alma will have at least one more out.
I think Mona Lisa's come up on one, didn't she?
Yeah.
Cedar, where are you?
I think Cedar had to go back to work.
I think she'll have her hunting anthology put together.
Yeah, Cedar's hunting anthology. She's sending out the hey, you're in emails. Tom, what do you got coming out? Tom.
Did he go?
Dawn, I don't even want to know why you had to press the panic button. That ain't good.
I'm too far away to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cedar's got the hunting anthology. Tom is ignoring me.
Let's see who else have we got. Dorothy should have her
monthly
next.
testing. Good. Ooh, scared us there.
Dorothy's next book should be out by then.
Ooh,
Um,
Tom's doing a story for the multi anthology. Write faster.
And
Right
the Romans
faster.
started acting up again. Yes. Waiting on that book for 3 friggin' years.
Tom chased down Courtney and Cedar at one of the cons and talked to them about covers and keywords.
You can do that outside of a convention. You can just
Yes.
email her.
It's
I have a
Tom.
website.
You
You've
don't have
met
to
him.
wait until then.
You've met Tom.
I've
That's
met
true.
Tom.
Large, quiet, hides in shadows.
I have not experienced Tom as being quiet, especially when we were both driving Chargers at the same time.
Tom Rogamy?
Yes,
Okay.
Tom has not been quiet. about
Anthology
it
done
at
with
all.
that.
I'm in debt to Tom and paying him in covers. Okay, then.
All right. And we've wasted another hour and 4 minutes of your time, folks.
He's covered.
Because
Yeah.
He's covered. Yuck,
He's
yuck,
covered.
yuck, yuck.
I was wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Yeah.
Since your son walked right past you in one of my favorite Hawaiian shirts, yes, you hide rather well.
All right, folks. We came out the other side of the holidays.
More or less.
Mostly intact.
Yeah. Go ahead and recover the rest of the week. We'll be back on Thursday.
Quack.
And remember, don't sweat the petty stuff and don't pet the sweaty stuff.
Be safe, guys.
See ya.